Welcome back, everyone. Today we're taking a deep dive into a specific location, Crystal Lake, Illinois, and its potential as a commercial real estate investment.
Ooh, interesting.
And guiding us is an expert who knows this market inside and out, Michael Linton. He's got almost 40 years, 38 to be exact, of experience in Chicago commercial real estate.
Wow, that's a wealth of knowledge.
Right. And there's a unique twist. Michael's a 1982 graduate of Crystal Lake Central High School, so he's got that hometown advantage.
Oh, that's cool. So he really knows the area, not just from a business perspective, but also personally.
Exactly. You can find his insights on his website, chicagodealflow.com.
Okay, so let's set the scene. Crystal Lake, where is it exactly, and why is it significant for commercial real estate?
So Crystal Lake is about 50 miles northwest of downtown Chicago. What makes this location so strategic is its access.
Access to what?
Well, it's got easy access to both the bustling city center, 80 other key suburban markets. It's like a perfect middle ground.
Ah, I see. So it's attractive to businesses looking for that balance of connectivity without being right in the heart of the city.
Exactly. And, it's more than just location. Michael highlights several factors in Crystal Lake that make it a standout opportunity.
All right, let's hear it. What are some of those factors?
Well, for starters, Crystal Lake has a growing population.
More people, more demand. Right. Makes sense.
Right. That means more demand for goods and services, which is a good sign for any investor looking at retail, restaurants, even entertainment venues.
Okay, so a healthy market with room to grow. What else?
Michael also points to the diversity of Crystal Lake's economy. It's not overly reliant on just one or two industries.
Ah, that's always a good sign, spreading the risk a bit. So what kind of industries are we talking about?
You've got manufacturing, healthcare, professional services, even tourism.
Tourism? Really?
Yeah, it's got beautiful lakes and lots of recreation areas.
Oh, that makes sense. So it's not just attracting businesses, but also visitors.
Exactly. And this mix of industries adds stability and lowers the risk for potential investors.
Okay, I'm starting to see the appeal. So we've got location, a growing population, a diverse economy. What else makes Crystal Lake stand out?
Well, this is something that often gets overlooked in market analyses, quality of life.
Ah, yes. That's huge these days.
Right. And Crystal Lake has this great blend of urban amenities and suburban charm.
So what does that translate to specifically?
Think good schools, parks, a vibrant downtown area with local shops and restaurants, and of course those beautiful lakes.
Sounds like a place where people actually want to live.
Exactly. And that's a major plus for businesses trying to attract and retain talent.
It's all connected. You need a good quality of life to draw in a skilled workforce.
Exactly. But there's one more thing Michael emphasizes. He sees Crystal Lake as a place that's ripe for new projects and redevelopment.
Oh, interesting. So not just existing businesses, but potential for new ones to come in and shape the landscape.
Exactly. He sees opportunities for new construction and the revitalization of existing properties. This is especially attractive to investors looking for growth potential.
Okay, I'm seeing the potential here, but let's get a little more granular. What are some of the specific opportunities that we're talking about?
Well, Michael breaks down the Crystal Lake market into 4 key sectors: retail, office space, industrial and warehouse, and mixed-use developments.
All right, sounds like we have a lot to unpack. Let's start with retail. What's the scene like there? So with retail, Michael paints this picture of a mix. Big box stores, shopping centers, and then those charming local boutiques.
So there's variety.
Yeah. He even specifically mentions Crystal Lake Plaza. He calls it a suburban retail success story. And then there's the Route 14 corridor. That's got a mix of retail properties too.
Okay, so there are established retail spaces and then opportunities for maybe new development too.
Exactly. Like imagine, let's say there's an investor who's looking for like a property with good foot traffic, one with a proven track record.
They want something that's already working.
Yeah. Crystal Lake Plaza might be a good option for them, but then there might be another investor who's thinking about, I don't know, like a brand new concept,
Yes.
right? Or they want more flexibility.
More control over the space, yeah.
Yeah. The Route 14 corridor with all those different types of properties might be more their style. So retail's got options. But what about office space?
Yeah. What's the outlook there? What's Michael seeing?
Well, Michael talks about how Crystal Lake caters to all different kinds of businesses. So it's not just one type. You've got small local firms all the way up to these bigger corporations.
A good mix.
Yeah. He really highlights 2 areas, downtown Crystal Lake, That's got that blend of like historic buildings with those more modern alternatives, and it's very walkable, which is appealing to a lot of businesses these
For
days.
sure. That walkability factor is big.
Yeah.
What are the other area he mentioned?
Congress Parkway area. And this one's got potential for office development, but also has those, scenic views. Think about it. One company, maybe it's a tech startup, right?
Hmm.
They want that creative, collaborative environment. Downtown might be perfect. But then you've got a larger company, maybe one that's thinking about expanding. They need the room. And maybe they want something a little more, laid back for their employees.
Yeah, that makes sense. So we've got retail. We've got office space. Now, what about that industrial and warehouse sector? Is that a big part of the Crystal Lake market?
Oh, it is. And Michael actually sees this sector. He sees this as like a major growth area for Crystal Lake.
Why is that?
Well, think about the location. It's strategic. There's easy access to transportation.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Businesses need those efficient ways to, move their products in and out.
Exactly. And Michael points to two key areas within this sector. There's the Crystal Lake Industrial Park. That's
Yeah.
got, your light industrial warehouse facilities. And then there's the Route 31 corridor. And that's kind of emerging as like this hub for those new industrial developments.
So a mix of existing space and then room for new construction too.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine a hypothetical manufacturing company. They need a place that's ready to go, like right away. They need that infrastructure already in place.
So the industrial park would be a good fit.
Yeah, that's right. But then you've got a company that maybe they need something custom built, a warehouse with like the newest technology. They might be more interested in the Route 31 corridor. That's got that potential for their future growth and all.
So we've got retail, office space, industrial, warehouse. You said there was a fourth sector, right?
Oh, right. Yeah, mixed use developments. This is that trend that's really becoming popular in other suburbs. And Crystal Lakes, they're kind of on board with that.
What makes mixed use so appealing? Like, what's the big draw?
Well, they're more, how should I say? They're like a more holistic approach to community building.
Mm.
They mix retail, office, and residential all in one space. So you get these vibrant areas where people can do everything, basically.
It's like a self-contained ecosystem almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're usually really walkable. And from a business perspective, you're investing in more than just one type of property. It's like a whole dynamic system, right?
Yeah.
It attracts residents, it attracts businesses, shoppers.
Right, interconnected, yeah.
Yeah. Redevelopment plans are a big part of this sector in Crystal Lake. So think about those older properties that maybe aren't being used as much anymore. Those get transformed into like these mixed use hubs. That's where the potential is.
Okay. So we've got a good overview of those four key sectors now.
Mm.
But what about the bigger picture?
Mhm.
Like the market trends that are shaping everything. This is where Michael really digs deep, right?
Oh, he does. He didn't just look at what's happening right now. He's thinking about, what's coming down the road, the trends that are going to shape the future. And there are some big ones that he sees impacting Crystal Lake specifically.
Okay, well, let's hear it. All right, so we've covered a lot of ground, right? We've looked at those key sectors, those market trends, and we've gotten some really great expert advice from Michael Linton. But now for the million-dollar question. What's the overall outlook for Crystal Lake?
Well, from everything we've talked about, it sounds like Crystal Lake is, it's shaping up to be a pretty attractive market for commercial real estate.
And this isn't just coming from, like, any analyst out there. Michael's got that personal connection. Graduated from Crystal Lake Central High School back in '82. He's been working in that Chicago market for what, like almost 40 years?
Yeah. So when he says he's bullish on Crystal Lake, it means something.
Okay, so let's dig into why he's so optimistic about Crystal Lake's future. What are those like key factors that he sees driving that positive outlook?
Well, first off, he keeps going back to the location. I've talked about this a lot already, but it's like the foundation, right? That easy access to Chicago, to the highways, to those other suburban markets. It's a huge draw for businesses.
It's like they say, location, location, location.
Exactly. And then there's that diverse economy we talked about. Crystal Lake's not just relying on one or two industries. They've got that mix: manufacturing, healthcare, even tourism. It's a more stable market for investors.
Yeah, it's like having a balanced portfolio, but instead of stocks and bonds, it's industries. So we've got location, we've got economic diversity. What else is contributing to that optimism?
Michael also talks about the quality of life in Crystal Lake. Good schools, parks, a downtown that's like really lively with those shops and restaurants. All of that creates an environment where, people want to be.
And businesses can attract those good employees. We talked about that.
Yeah, exactly. And then lastly, there are all those opportunities, those emerging opportunities that we talked about across all those sectors, whether it's that experiential retail, the flex spaces, mixed use projects. Crystal Lake seems to be like really embracing those trends.
Like Crystal Lake is in the right place at the right time.
That's a good way to put it. And Michael, he's really encouraging investors and businesses to take a serious look at Crystal Lake. He even says, reach out to him directly through his website.
ChicagoDealFlow.com, right?
Yeah, yeah. He's like, I believe in this market so much. I want to help you be a part of it. That's a pretty strong statement.
It is. So to sum things up here, Crystal Lake seems to have a lot going for it. Great location, that diverse economy, a high quality of life, and a really forward-looking approach to how they're developing things.
Sounds promising.
It does. But here's something for you, our listener, to think about. Given everything we've talked about today, which specific sector in Crystal Lake do you think has the most potential, say, over the next 5 to 10 years, and why?
Yeah, do some research. Maybe even reach out to Michael on his website, ChicagoDealFlow.com. Get his take on it.
He's got that expertise,
Yeah.
and he clearly cares about Crystal Lake. So we've given you the starting point with this deep dive, but now it's your turn to keep exploring.
Until next time.